So what we're trying to do, aren't we, gang, is develop some kind of resources that help move us in the right direction in terms of making access to palliative care as easy as it can be for people who use alcohol and other drugs. Um, just as a very brief recap about the model of care, so that kind of overarching plan for us, it's about developing some tools to help identify people who need palliative care, and assess kind of where they're at, what kind of care they want. So really building some resources to make sure that care is as inclusive as it can be, and that there is also support resources for family caregivers. Family caregivers being a very broad umbrella term for family, friends, key workers, whoever is, having that really important and possibly quite intimate sort of care role. Today, what we've got are three possible resources. First one that we'll look at is the briefing, and this is aimed at family caregivers, again with that broad kind of umbrella term. So we have this briefing, which is really just trying to help family, friends, carers not feel so isolated, and to recognize that caring for someone who's got a substance problem, and is very ill, lots of people do that. And it can feel very isolating, and it's very demanding, and you possibly don't even know how stressed and difficult you're finding it because you're so focused on the other person. Secondly is this, what we're calling at the moment, the workbook. And possibly one of the things we want to do is come up with a better name for it. And originally I created it for practitioners, whatever kind of profession you came from, but it was to kind of take you through a bit of a journey about, have you had this conversation, have you talked about substance use, have you talked about their palliative care needs, have you talked about what care is like for them at home, kind of almost like a kind of information gathering tool where you can just put all the information, and it's kind of, I suppose, trying to encourage you to start thinking about doing, shall we look at doing an advanced care plan. And then the third bit is a pocket guide, and again this came out of that discussion day that Amanda and Sarah and Gary and I had, where we wanted something that was really brief and very, accessible to people. It is designed with the person who is approaching the end of their life in mind. So for that one, we maybe want to think about, are those kind of, are the headings right? Does it look as though it's, it's going to be a reasonable product, a helpful thing? And also, do we want a parallel version for family carers?